Hi everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm back with a brand new breakfast recipe, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but this is actually my very first waffle recipe. And today I wanted to share with you guys my favorite way to enjoy these. I'll be making my cinnamon sugar buttermilk waffles. These have so much incredible flavor going on. They're super light and fluffy. We're going to dip the cinnamon waffles into cinnamon sugar and then top them off with some berries, maple syrup, and whipped cream. If you guys are looking for the best waffles ever, this is the recipe. It's especially great for like a weekend breakfast when you want something special. These are perfect. Let's get started and I'll show you just how easy these are to make. And I'm going to get things started not with the waffle batter, but with that cinnamon sugar that we're going to dip the waffles into. So what I like to do is grab like a little casserole tray, and we're going to mix up the cinnamon sugar right in the casserole. So I have 1/4 cup each of brown sugar and white sugar, and I'm going to add that into my casserole. Just drop it right in. And to my sugars, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And I love a little bit of nutmeg in my recipe, so I'm going to grate in about 1/4 teaspoon of fresh nutmeg. Just going to add a little bit something extra to the recipe. I'm just going to grab my whisk and mix this all together. You want to make sure you have a nice uniform mixture, and that's it for our cinnamon sugar. It's super easy, and then we'll dip our waffles into this once they're coming out of the griddle. And for my waffle batter, I'm going to be using 1 3/4 cups of buttermilk. Feel free to use regular buttermilk that you pick up at the store. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own buttermilk at home, since I get lots of messages that you guys aren't able to find buttermilk in your country. So I have 1 3/4 cups of whole milk. To that I'm going to be adding in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Just pour that in, grab a whisk and give that a whisk. And just let this stand for a few minutes. That lemon juice will almost instantly sour the milk, and voila, you have buttermilk. It's super easy to make. I'm going to pour my buttermilk into a large mixing bowl and add in 1/3 cup of oil. You can also add melted butter instead of the oil for this recipe. 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And for this step, you can use a regular whisk or a hand mixer. I'm going to mix together all these ingredients for a couple minutes until the eggs are well beaten. And now moving on to the dry ingredients, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Just mix this all together. And I'm going to sift my dry ingredients into the waffle batter. And I'm going to grab my hand mixer again and mix this for about a minute on low speed until that flour is well incorporated. And now it's time to make our cinnamon sugar waffles. So I have my waffle griddle all preheated. I have my waffle batter, my cinnamon sugar, a clean plate for the done waffles. What I'm going to do is I add approximately 1/4 cup to about 1/3 cup of waffle batter. And you want to just drop it straight onto your hot griddle. Pour it right on. And this batter already smells so good. I love the aroma of that cinnamon in there. Close it right up and just let it do its thing for a few minutes until the waffles are golden brown. And how incredible does this waffle look? I'm going to take it out of my griddle, place it onto my tray. Oops. And I have my hot waffle here. You want to do this while the waffle is still nice and hot. I'm just going to brush it with a little bit of melted butter. I melted about 1/2 cup of butter in the microwave. And you want to butter up both sides. And this butter is going to help all that cinnamon sugar stick to the waffles. So you want to make sure they're nicely coated. And then I'm going to dip the waffles into the cinnamon sugar. And you see how that sugar just sticks right to the surface of the waffles? These are going to be so good. And these waffles are ready to enjoy as soon as they come off the griddle. I have some waffles in my tray here, and I wanted to show you guys how I enjoy them at home. So I like to add some fruit on top. I have some blueberries and strawberries. I even found some kumquats at the store, so those are always a really great addition. I'm just gonna pile them right on top. I also made a batch of some simple whipped cream. I'm going to include that recipe up on my website, and I like to add some right on top. And you can also add some maple syrup here. This is going to be so fantastic. And that's it, guys, for my cinnamon sugar waffles. These turned out so fantastic and they smell so delicious. For the full recipe, don't forget to head on down into that video description box. I've left a link there that'll take you over to my website so you could print this recipe off and share it with your family and friends. And now time to dig in and enjoy. And I love having that little dollop of whipped cream on top and the berries and some maple syrup. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. Going to grab a little bit of everything. Oh, that blueberry's running away from me. All right. Wow, these waffles are just beyond delicious. There's so much incredible flavor going on here, but let's talk about that texture first. These are super fluffy, all thanks to that buttermilk batter. It just makes these so incredibly light and fluffy. You're going to love the texture. And then I love that these have just a light hint of cinnamon, so it's not overwhelming. And then you add that whipped cream, the maple syrup, the berries. This is, in my opinion, the best way to enjoy breakfast waffles. And I think you guys will agree too if you give these a try. Don't forget to head on down into that video description box for the full link. I hope you guys enjoyed these at home, and I'll see you next time with a new recipe.